feel this? Feels like like a low amperage, like a low electricity. Oh, there I am. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Being an empath, you're always feeling some kind of way. So I just said, and I was like, Mom, feel my hands. You can feel the electricity in my hand. It feels like a low. See, because some of us are just wired that way. Okay? Some of us are just wired that way. We're healers. And the more I pay attention, the more I'm finding that I'm intended to just help heal people, whatever capacity. And it's been a long, hard 4 years, and I'm finally feel like I'm in a place where I am healing rather than sustaining myself through one challenge after another. Life is just a series of challenges, and every now and again you get these. You okay, Ma? Does your toe hurt? Is it not comfortable? Okay. You got it? So, I called this talk a teaching moment. I wanted to talk. I got this can you see it? From the Taos Like House Herb Company. It's backwards. It's been termite. We've been having a bout of Mom's got a bad toenail. She's got a bad toe. See, they put all this nasty stuff in our foods, but we last couple of years, 2 years especially, we eat a lot better. I'm becoming more conscious of not putting preservatives and junk in us, because that stuff comes out in our nails, in your hair, the stuff that grows, that's poisons, toxins. So Mom's got a bum toe. And I went down to the coffee shop. See, I share my experiences so that way people can share with me if they know people that have had these experiences, things that they've used. And I understand everybody has a different body chemistry and whatnot. Mom's extra sensitive. She's one of those no dyes, no fuss, no muss kind of stuff. And her feet are extra sensitive. And I'm always talking about feet care because people don't freaking think about how important taking care of your feet is. Your feet, you can't walk. Well, it's so. So I go to the coffee shop, and a gentleman recommended spearmint, making a tea and soaking her feet in spearmint. And I had gone to the store and got Epsom salt because it does the same thing. So I said, but you know what? I'm gonna get both, and we're gonna try some stuff. So today it was Epsom salt. Then, hey Stanley, it's Black Cat Appreciation Day. I love black cats. I love the animal, what people do with them. I don't love the heart space. But anyway, focus, Marjo. So after I leave the coffee shop, I stop by this herb company to pick up some spearmint. And I'm standing there, and evidently they initiated the indoor mask mandate in New Mexico. I did it on Twitter. I posted, hey, Governor of New Mexico, are you the product of siblings? It's curious. It happens. It's common. Not really. I don't know. Yeah. It's population too. I'm just curious because, it's all hogwash. And that's welcome to the Great Awakening, folks. We're in the Great Awakening. We're amongst, people have been waking up. Some people have always been a little bit more conscious. Everybody has a different path. But you know what? Ultimately, at some point, every single one of us walks that path. Even though we all have different ones, everybody gets to experience everything, anything. It's called collective consciousness. Some people live the horrors when they go to sleep and have night terrors. They're having those night terrors because they're tuning into the frequency of what people are experiencing in real life. Energy's a trip, man. Anyway, so getting a little bit off track. Me and my tangents, huh, Ma? So the lady was like, you need to put the mask up over your nose. I haven't put a mask on in 2 months, probably. It's been a while. And usually I just keep them down. I wear them like an ass because it's asinine as far as I'm concerned. So I pulled it up and I started to feel anxiety, and I turn around to not focus on that and to look at anything else. And I looked behind me, and it was the palm reader. The palm reader from the farmer's market, Ma. The one that prayed for me. That beautiful prayer. And I was like, and she could see it in my eyes, and I looked in her eyes, and I'm like, and she recognized me too. And I was like, and so that broke the energy, and I didn't have to focus on this nonsense. So she and I started engaging, and I was telling her about Mom's toe, and she told me about this Bim Torite clay. And this is what I do. This is how we live every day, one day at a time. When things like this come up, I love this song. You're Somebody Else by Flora Cash. It's a really good jam. And so I get this stuff, and then I go, and then I bring, and you make a paste out of the clay. You add water to it. It makes a clay. I don't know what I just said before that, but you make a clay, and then you put it on the compromised cells, the infection, and it draws out the poison. And so I came home, and I was like, okay, Mom, so we soak it in Epsom salt for a little while. And then I'm like, I'm going to put this clay on. And while the clay's on her foot, I'm reading her the benefits, the history, where it comes from. It's volcanic ash from Wyoming. We learned some fictions and facts. And I'll be there in a minute, Lou. And so we packed on, and then that distracts, keeps us both occupied and entertained long enough to let it draw out the toxins. Then it goes back in, So, and another synchronistic thing that happened today is I was going a different way through town. See, like the instance at the vitamin store. God never gives us more than we can handle. Whenever there's notice that whenever you're in extreme, and I've been in plenty of extreme stressful situations, I don't think they got an alphabet soup for all the PTSD ... in me. But the thing of it is I don't live too much in the past, and I don't live too much in the future, because the gift is what God gives us, and that's the gift is in the present moment. The present is the gift. See? Present's the gift. So staying, cool, level-headed, and reaching out to people and asking what their experience and has been in situations like this, because I want to talk to people. I don't want to look. I think one time, 6 years ago, or longer than that, 12 years ago, I'm like, I ain't going on that medical WebMD bandwagon stuff. So I know part of my calling as being a healer is it's my responsibility to learn as much as I possibly can about plant and herbal medicine. I make some pretty good cookies. They heal a lot of woes. They heal a lot of lows. But that's the thing of it is we can't stay in a constant state of bliss. Nobody can. And the world is perpetuating into an environment where it's going to be harder if you are active in that 3D realm. You don't get past that, move through the 4D. We ain't never going to get in 5Dville. Through all that lower density behavior, past all that chasing sensations, we're just always going to be in the bar on Star Wars. With anyway, so when I was reminded of that, and whenever I'm having struggles with my faith, wondering, okay, God, I'm just in limbo. What's happening next? God, I'm just hanging out, waiting for my next, stepping stone. What do you want me to do? If I'm worried about, all I got to do is think about the times that I was worried or came to a point of anxiousness, and then God sends me an earth angel. And that is why because I've experienced such extreme amounts of stress in my life, it is easy for me to recognize that in other people, which makes it easier for me to help de-escalate serious situations. Right. Right. See, because people don't know. See, like healthcare, we should be doing everything in the world to make an elder comfortable. Everything. Our elders, they contain in their soul sacs the DNA, and we can still tune in to their to all that they know. But people disregard their elders. I find myself doing it sometimes when they're driving too slow. I need to be more patient and have more respect, and just understand that everything in time, it's God's divine time, and that they could be potentially saving my life from something up ahead. So I just need to try and always be at ease. But with my birth chart, it ain't easy. I was reading about me earlier today, and I was like, this makes, and I was looking at a different perspective than what I usually look at. I went to a different place. And that's the thing, is everybody has their perspective. Everybody has their idea of looking at it. And I appreciate taking people's input. And then when I come across somebody that, useful information, I'll be like, hey, guy told me the coffee, because sharing information here in community, man, we are going back to community whether people want to or not. What goes around comes around. Look, I was telling Mom today, I was like, Ma, I said, I think I'm going to find these pants. They're true and blue or something. I got them at Walmart. But they're constantly changing stuff because, well, basically everything's speeding up. So people are extra creative. So they're freaking anyway. But it's hard to find her clothes and stuff like that. And now they're bringing back the tape. Because when I was a kid, I used to peg my pants. I'd peg my pants and roll them up at the bottom. And then they started making pants that were tapered at the bottom. And now they're tapered. Now they got the elastic. But it ain't nothing that's been done before. It ain't been done before. But, for a 70-year-old, she don't want that. And she wears smaller pants. Because she's so tiny, her frame is so tiny that she wears like young women's clothes. And so she doesn't want trendy shit. But they don't make stuff for her all the time. So we adapt, but every now and again I find a product that's cool and copacetic and stuff, I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm really stepping into my caregiver mode these days. And it's taken a long time, but I finally feel like I'm in a place where I can just be right now. And yeah, the stuff comes up with like Mom's toe and the dogs and stuff like that. But the thing of it is it comes up. God gives me what I need to handle the situation as it's happening. And then, I got to recuperate a little bit more. It hits me a little bit harder than it used to, where people don't get it when they're young. They think you got all, and I got a lot of juice. I got a lot of life force, Kundalini energy. I got a lot of it, and I pretty much am constantly on my feet, moving for the better part of the day, at least from 7 to 7. When I'm done with this talk, I'll sit down and I'll freaking enjoy some Big Bang Theory with Mom, and then we're going to laugh. Then I'm going to go to sleep. And we'll do it all over again tomorrow. I think one of the big reasons, I'm going to leave it up on this, that so many people are struggling and having a hard time is because they're not living in the present moment. Is they're living in the past, or they're worried about the future, and neither things you can change thinking about them in the present moment. And it's creating a vibrational frequency that is keeping people out of whack. And then you have society that is injecting its fear to perpetuate whatever agenda. It's like all the agendas are going right now. It's really bizarre. And a lot of people are going to have a hard time because they just always done what they're told. And they're just, have this imposed reality. But all these things that have been opposed upon us, people are quickly finding out that ain't true. Oh, wait, everything they saw, the opposite is true. Oh, wait, there's narratives. Oh, wait. Oh, look at all this stuff. Welcome to the Great Awakening, folks. For those of you that, if anybody ever has any questions or anything, straight people like rainbows2 at gmail.com. That's my email. Oh, and also, I wanted, if my friend Aunt Jeannie is watching, love her lots, read about this. Read about this. Some did put small increments in their food because it's I don't know, I guess it's like it helps with stomach stuff, and a lot of people are having stomach stuff right now because I know myself, and I met other woman today, two women today, a couple women I talked to, because I carry my stress in my stomach, and then that puts a lot of pressure on my lower back, so that's important to keep my my stress down and get rid of my gut, because then I'm in less pain. See, people don't like doing the work, what it takes to reduce the stress and the pressure on their bones and joints. It's just easier to feel bad and then, soothe yourself with old programming by eating and whatnot. And then, you're adding more pain, I was afforded a long, long time ago the idea of living one day at a time, and it's a shame to see all the grossness that is being revealed. And the astrology keeps saying it's only going to be more, because people gotta see how things are. I've lived in a land of denial. I thought that people cared a lot more than they care. It got to the point. It's not even paranoia. It's just like people don't like high vibrational beings, and they will like try to be your friend and do it there. It's weird, man. See, and when people don't think like that, when you aren't of the malicious heart or the malevolent heart, if you ain't from that thinking, you're not going to think that people think like that. But I believe in an all things possible universe, and I'm, Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Rising. And in Vedic, it's Pisces, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Gemini, Rising. So I'm pretty versatile, full spectrum person, So it's amazing that I haven't dipped into my shadow side based on my history, and the history and demographics of other people that have gone through, a lot of people that got messed up when they were kids, and not everybody did. So I think a lot of these people, I don't know, it's just a spectrum. We'll just say the playing field's leveling. How's that? We'll just say that the playing field's leveling. As more people are having an opportunity to experience and live in situations that they never thought they would. And it's only going to become more, because that's how collective consciousness works. The way I see it is people's ideologies and thinking on the reality, because everybody knows what a lie feels like, whether they believe themselves or not, But Rick Levine talks about the clocks on the wall, and how the clock keeper maker would turn the frickin' dials, turn them all and get them all going with the old fashioned keys. And then he'd come in the next morning and they would all be in sync. Human nature, ultimately, at some point, like in a crowded room, every 20 minutes, pay attention, there's a moment of silence. So things are starting to sync up. People are starting to, based on the energy within themselves that is often guided by the planetary alignments in the sky. I look at I'm a planetary puppet on energetic strings. I have free will. Now I can live in my shadow aspects of what these planets represent, or I can live in the light side, The light side is a lot harder to do. It ain't the easy, softer way. So that's how I know who the other ones like me are. Because, yeah, I have the potential. It says in my horoscope, you could be very lazy, and that's the thing, is because I can be, I have to put in the extra effort not to be, when I feel urges like I want to drink alcohol and reach oblivion and just as they call it, as Bob on Longmire calls it, sometimes you got to get numb and dumb. Well, that ain't for me in this incarnation, as much as I want it to be. it removes my spirit, then ego comes in, and that's where darkness seemingly prevails, as I understand it. That's what it seems like it's happening to me. I don't believe one single news story that I saw on MSA, except that the dumb broad that governors freaking New Mexico reinitiated the mandate. But this is all scripted. It's all groups of us have been talking about. I've been talking about it for years. Some people have been talking about it. I've been talking about it longer. I've only been YouTube videos for 4.5 years. March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, 4.5 years now. At the end of the month, 26th. But this, all this stuff is just it's all lining up, and we're gonna see who these bodies. These are incarnations, soul sacks. It's like going into a library of life, and then we put on this soul sack over our spirit, and we're like, okay, we're gonna learn these lessons and have these life experiences. And then you do stuff, and if you're a cheater, do the shyster way, that's like negative karma you earn. Good girl. Don't tease him. It's negative karma, but you do good, it takes off the negative, and it all balances out. But we got a lot of freaking sorting out going on right now, and people are waking up to who they really are. Some people, hey, they're we all can dip to the dark. Any old time people feel like it. I got it. My daily disciplines. When I get too stressed, what I do now is I take it. I'll take an hour and I'll go to the coffee shop, and then I'll come back. It's just reset. Sometimes you got to get out of the energy that you're in. Reset. People don't do that. They stay in it, and then they get in the mindset that this is how their life is going to be, and it's never going to be any different than anything else. And that's when you have people freaking taking out their whole families, because they know that if they leave them behind, ain't nobody else going to take care of them, because this system is not designed to work except in the favor of a few. So how's that, Ma? How's your toe feeling? It's going to be hard because I said, Mom, I'm going to sleep out here. I'm going to sleep out here, and make sure she can't sleep with their shoes on. She was born with club feet. So it's her stability. It's her grounding. It's her security. But she can't sleep. I said, I'm going to watch you. Make sure you don't sneakily put on your shoes and right after I go to bed. Because she does that. She's such a little, I get it from her, man. I tell you what, I ain't no better freaking soul sack incubator. Ain't no better one for me than Ma. Because she had the grace. She's got like 5 freaking planets in Scorpio. She's got the grace. She has she just knows stuff. And I'll end up on this. I went a different way through a town. I started to say it. And I took like a right, and so I took a left so I could go in through the parking lot and turn around and go back up the way I wanted to go. Because it was just, I didn't want to deal with cross traffic where I was when I was there. And when I pulled in the parking lot, I was in a place called Natural Roots, which is, I think it's natural. It's a place here local, and they make a lot of holistic medicine. And so they make natural medicine, and they have classes and stuff like that. And they hang out at the farmer's market. And I introduced myself to a couple of the girls over there. And it gets so busy, you can't really talk with people unless you get there early enough. I didn't those 2 times. And so I happen to pull in the parking lot, and I go up to the front door, and I see on the sign, it's closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I was like, okay, all right. And I had to think about what day it was. So I go back to the car, and a woman was pulling out, a young woman. And she was like, hi, are you trying to go in there? Hi, Heather. Yeah, I do too. I'm with you. And so, she was like, she was a really nice girl. She's like, yeah. And she's like, we even had the Pueblo medicine man here in town, here doing a demonstration, but we're closed and stuff. I said, no worries. I said, I'm a fatist, and I just kind of followed the signs as I pull into the parking lot here. And she's like, what's that mean? I said, I believe in fate. I believe everything happens for a reason. It's all divine timing, stuff like that. I said, yeah, I got some healing abilities. I got the ability of telekinesis. I get it from my mom. She's like, I'd like to see that. I said, I'd be glad to show you anytime you want. I'm glad to show people anytime they want. These are all powers in which we have. It's what people do with their juice. What are you doing with your juice? Are people helping or are they hindering? And when they hinder, it brings on the sick, the ick, that low vibrational, all that stuff, the attachments, like chains on Ebenezer Scrooge. So we all put those chains on us, but we don't have to do that every day. Every day we can make a conscious decision not to make and do the same behaviors that kept us in a lower place. And I need God, Holy Spirit, to help me with that. So more and more every day. I've been relying on my higher power, God, Holy Spirit. That's mom. That's an introduction my mom gave to me and impressed upon me at a very young age, and for that I'm grateful. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a good night, Heather, and I hope you continue to have much more happy days than bad days. Peace.